Thanks to platforms like YouTube, Dailymotion and LiveLeaks, footage of police questioning suspects are widely available. Many depict the routine process police officers undertake every day, but some reveal truly frightening conduct by suspects and law enforcement agents alike. Here we examine 5 troubling police interrogation videos. Viewer discretion for the following footage is advised. Before we begin, don't forget to check out our new podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts by clicking the link in the description or in the comment section. We're uploading lots of long-form content to the podcast, and we'll also be experimenting with some new content soon. Also, our cold case detective main investigations will no longer be turned into videos, but instead will be uploaded as podcasts. So don't forget to check it out. Now, let's get into this video. Snake torture. This is a relatively recent piece of footage, uploaded to Twitter in February 2019, by Veronica Coleman, a human rights lawyer. The video shows the appalling conduct of 2 Indonesian police officers when dealing with a man accused of stealing mobile phones. The suspect can be seen sitting on the floor, squirming in visible distress, as he endures questioning whilst his hands are bound behind him, with the snake draped around his neck. A police officer squats down in front of him, who can be seen manipulating the snake's head closer to the suspect's face, whilst he asks how many times the man has committed the aforementioned act of theft. The obviously terrified man screams and responds, only twice. At one point, one of the officers can be seen looking towards the camera with what looks like an amused expression on his face. Take a look at the full footage.
Yang bersangkutan diminta keterangan, ini susah sekali. Jadi dia yang
Other news sources have claimed that the officers also threatened to put the snake down his trousers and demanded that the suspect keep his eyes open after he had presumably shut them in fear. This conduct, displayed by the Indonesian police, led to an apology by the chief of police and triggered an internal investigation. This resulted in the 2 officers present during the interrogation being removed from duty. Alonso Perez. When police in Las Vegas arrested murder suspect Alonso Perez in September 2016, they probably assumed they could rest easy after shackling him and cuffing him to a table in an interrogation room. But this was not the case. 25-year-old Perez was arrested by North Las Vegas police for the fatal shooting of 31-year-old Mohammed Robinson. The incident occurred at a McDonald's where Perez shot Robinson, allegedly for his failure to hold the door open for Perez's female companion. After his arrest, police secured Perez in an interrogation room, where he was left alone for some 40 minutes. What happened during this period was caught by the CCTV in the room, which unfortunately was unmanned at the time. Take a look. After Perez escaped to the police station, he stole a pickup truck and fled. He was found by authorities in an undercover operation 4 days later and rearrested, as gun casings from Perez's weapon were found to match those from 2 other fatal shootings, that of 50-year-old Jeffrey Johnson and Candelaro Duran, 37, as well as 1 other non-fatal shooting. Perez was later charged with 3 crimes too, and is currently facing the death sentence. Thomas Robinson. In June 2016, Cincinnati police arrested 23-year-old Thomas Robinson for shooting Joseph Reno Armstrong, only 17 years of age, to death. Despite Robinson initially displaying a calm demeanour whilst being secured for questioning at the station, events quickly took a dramatic turn and left police struggling to regain control of their prisoner. In footage that has since seen the officers involved in this scenario praised for the manner in which they resolved the situation, we can observe how Robinson, who is handcuffed to a chair, grabs the gun from Officer James Ball's holster, as he appears set to move his prisoner. This prompts a frantic tussle between Ball, Robinson, and other officers to retake possession of the weapon. The CCTV footage from the interrogation depicts Robinson, whose repeated screams of "kill me" could suggest his intention to commit suicide by police, being successfully subdued by Officer Ball and his colleagues. Take a look.
Yeah, I'm good. You couldn't get it.
You guys alright?
Yeah.
In addition to murder, Robinson was also charged for his assault on Officer Ball, who luckily only sustained bruising to the face during the skirmish. Robinson was also charged with the previous crime of aggravated robbery and possession of narcotics, as a bag of heroin was discovered hidden in his socks upon arrest. Greg Bigda. In yet another incident to take place in 2016, 3 Latino youths, conducted primarily by Detective Greg Bigda, resulted in scandal from Massachusetts Police Department that is yet to be resolved. Whilst the identity of the young offenders has been protected, with one of the offenders known to be only 14 years of age, their alleged crime has not. Whilst an officer left his unmarked vehicle with the engine running and the keys in the ignition during a stop outside a takeaway pizza parlour in the city of Springfield, the boys in question were accused of stealing the vehicle. After surrounding police units were informed of the incident, local law authorities managed to arrest the youths after they were reputedly caught speeding through the nearby city of Parma. It was at a police station in Parma that Greg and Luke Cornier, narcotic officers from Springfield PD, began interrogating the teenagers. Whilst it's impossible to defend the crime these boys allegedly committed, the behaviour, language and threatening behaviour displayed by Bigda throughout his questioning of the teens is reprehensible. CCTV footage was obtained by a Springfield newspaper and uploaded to Mass Live approximately 9 months after the incident occurred. I narrate Bigda in an attempt to ascertain the identities of all those involved and discover the explanation for a number of coins found in the vehicle can be seen resorting to intimidating behaviour. Take a look. The threats to physically harm and frame the suspects by planting drugs on them were only compounded by accusations from the accused that they were not read their rights. They were questioned without legal representation and also without parental consent. Furthermore, one of the boys accused the officers involved in the arrest of kicking him in the face prior to reaching the station, something that was later supported by the testimony of another officer. As a result of this conduct, Bigda was charged with deprivation of civil rights and falsifying an internal investigation report. He was suspended from his role for 60 days without pay, and the damage to his credibility following the release of the footage led to numerous narcotics cases being dismissed, as well as the case against the young men arrested for stealing the police vehicle. Bigda's future is still up for debate as further allegations against him arose, including one for assault against a pregnant woman, and Springfield PD is yet to recover from the negative publicity and public mistrust that has arisen from this event. Before we get into this last one, consider becoming a patron for just $2 per month. You will get access to hours worth of documentaries we've uploaded there. We recently uploaded a Jim Jones Murderous Minds, and have lots more documentaries in the pipeline, including one on D.B. Cooper that will be out very soon. Thanks for the support, and now let's get into this. Brent Christensen. Now this one isn't so much about anything crazy happening, but of how a suspect's lies start to unravel during an interrogation. We're actually working on a video solely on breaking down police interrogations that will be done soon that is very similar to this following clip. On June 9th, 2017, 26-year-old Ying Zhang, a visiting Chinese scholar at the University of Illinois, was waiting at a bus stop when she was lured into a car by Brent Allen Christensen with the promise of a ride home after she missed her bus. But instead of taking her home, he took her to his apartment where he raped and murdered her while his wife was out of town for the weekend. Investigators identified Christensen's car on CCTV and he was arrested and questioned, but he repeatedly lied about his whereabouts. Here we look at the moment his lies start to unravel in one of his police interviews.
We want to understand why you did it.
Yeah.
We want to understand why you stopped her to pick her up. Was it to give her a ride? Are you afraid to tell us that you gave her a ride? Maybe you wanted to make a couple bucks as an Uber driver, and she told you I had to go sign a lease at One North, and you're like, oh, I know where that's at. I'll drop you off. If you're afraid to tell us that you gave her a ride someplace, we can work with you there. But I know that you picked her up. I know you did. I saw you in your shirt, arms fully extended.
I did pick a girl up. I don't remember where.
Okay.
I saw her picture. I don't think it was her, though.
Do you remember the girl's name that you picked up?
No, she was talking very broken English.
Okay. Tell us about what happened. What time of day was that?
Early afternoon. I don't really remember.
Okay.
And I saw it was north, so I started driving north. And she said something like, turn left after a couple blocks. Maybe she said something else, because that's really when she started freaking out. And so when I got out of the car, I get out, try to pull in the door. It's locked because the car auto locks. I unlocked, she got out. That was it. If I recognized her, I would have told the agents that came on Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was, that it was her.
Okay.
Like, because I knew she was missing. I picked up an Asian girl. I thought she was about 20.
You know that I know that you didn't drop her off in that neighborhood. You know that we can follow her phone.
Okay.
So where did you drop her off at?
Where'd you take her, Brent? We need to find Ying Ying.
Finally, on June 30th, 2017, FBI had enough evidence to charge him with Ying Yang's murder. Christensen was eventually convicted of 1 count of kidnapping, resulting in death, and 2 counts of masking false statements to agents of the FBI, for which he received a sentence of life imprisonment, without the possibility of parole. Following the trial, prosecutors revealed information about Ying Yang's remains that Christensen divulged through his attorneys in November 2018 under an immunity agreement. He claimed that the day after he killed her, he put her dismembered body in 3 separate garbage bags, which he then disposed of in the dumpster outside of his apartment. Over the next 2 days, he disposed of her personal belongings in various dumpsters in the area. The dumpster were where her remains were finally emptied 3 days after her death, and the contents taken to a private landfill in Vermilion County, where they were spread over a wide area and subsequently buried under 30 feet of garbage. Recovery would be almost impossible, and to date, none of her remains have been recovered. So that's 5 examples of astonishing footage taken from police interrogation rooms. We hope you found this video interesting, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.